What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days, where we do have some topics that need to be discussed. Firstly, Vitor Roque's arrival in January. We do have some big updates in regards to that. Barcelona being linked with the Man City duo Bernardo Silva and Julian Alvarez, how they are targeting one of them heavily for the upcoming summer. We do miss out on a big free agent that Barcelona were targeting as well, and of course Deco is working very hard on signing both Joaos permanently next summer. If not, his plan is just to have them both in the squad for next season. Whether they continue, how they continue, remains to be seen. We have some updates around the club as well. Renewal on Frenkie de Jong, injury update on Frenkie de Jong and Pedri, some general news around the Super Cup, third kit being leaked for next season, FFP changes, offside technology coming to La Liga, presidential dinner that took place as well. We'll have some big updates on the Super League, where we are expecting a big decision at the end of this year that could benefit Barcelona and bring that much needed revenue that we do need. And finally, we do have some news in regards to the dressing room feeling after the match this past weekend in El Clasico. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is one of the best replica football jersey websites on the market right now. They have a variety of different items at absolutely fantastic prices. For me here today, I'm going to show you guys the training kit from this season. This is the warm-up kit that the players use when they go out for training every single day, pre-games as well. You have here the Spotify logo. They have the club badge on it with the diamond as well. And I also have here one of the sweaters they have from last season. This was the Catalonia version. It feels like I bought this from the Nike store directly. The quality is absolutely unreal. The printing is fantastic. And of course, mainly the prices are unbeatable. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get an additional 15% off your final order. That is BOY. Use it at checkout. You get 15% off your order, and all orders above $80 as well will guarantee you free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Click the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days. Now, firstly, we're going to be discussing players that have been linked with Barcelona that the club isn't really interested in, or the transfer is not going to happen. Firstly is the center back from Lille named Djalo, where there have been reports in Italy linking the center back to Barcelona, and Gabriel Jesus and Todibo came out saying that despite rumors in Italy, Barcelona does not have Lille center back Djalo, whose contract expires in 2024, in their plans right now, and for now have not considered signing him. So he will be a free agent in the summer. Again, the center back position, we are well covered. We have Christensen, Inigo Martinez, Araujo, Koundé. You do have Eric Garcia coming back from loan as well. You have Kubrasi and Barca Athletic. You have McAlfay as well. I think we're well established in the center back department. I think we can even sell one of Garcia, Inigo, Christensen, Araujo, and Koundé and still be fine as well. So no worries there. We have been linked with another free agent this summer as well that may end up leaving in January, which is Juan Miranda. Now, Miranda will be a free agent this summer, and apparently Betis want to keep him, but the player is looking at his options. Barcelona and AC Milan were the two main names a few weeks ago, but now AC Milan have taken a huge lead in the race. Fabrizio Romano has come out saying that AC Milan is close to reaching an agreement on personal terms with Real Betis left back Juan Miranda. Miranda considers ideal situation. 5-year deal is now being discussed. Initial plan is to sign him as a free agent in 2024, but AC Milan are anticipating a deal for January. This was all initially reported by Matteo Morito from Renewal. Now, keep in mind, if Miranda is sold in January, Barcelona do get a cut of that deal, because we sold Miranda to Betis with a 40% of any future sale, but since he's going in January, he's going to be a free agent in the summer. He won't be going for that much. Franco Rasen Sport came out saying that Juan Miranda aims to be sold by Betis to Milan in January. Barcelona do reserve 40% of any future sale. The price will be probably around 3 million euros. So if he is sold, we get 40%. So you're looking at maybe 1.2 million euros to Barcelona, but that's, 1 million less than we didn't have from before. So we'll take it. So we'll wait and see. I think Miranda would have been a really, really good option at left back to provide coverage and competition for Alejandro Balde. We missed it on Grimaldo last summer. Now Miranda this summer, he's now going to go compete with Theo Hernandez at AC Milan, but it is what it is. No real disappointment about that, but wait to see how things develop though. Again, it's not completely done deal, 100% quite yet, but it is on the verge of completion. Now for the upcoming January transfer window, Barcelona are going to be fairly quiet as they're only focused on one key movement, and that is the incorporation and signing of Vitor Roque. We do have some quotes coming in from both Xavi and Deco. Firstly, on Xavi, he's came out saying that I have talked to Vitor Roque over recent weeks. I think he's a very prepared player, very mature, mentally strong, and hopefully he can arrive in January. This was pre-El Clasico, along with Deco's quotes as well. Pre-El Clasico, he was asked on Vitor Roque. He said, look, it doesn't matter. That depends on financial fair play and La Liga. If there is any possibility, we will try. We want him to arrive as soon as possible. If he does not come in January, though, it will be in the summer. Now, following these quotes, Alfredo Martinez has come out saying that Vitor Roque will arrive in January. Deco has already confirmed this to Xavi. Fabrizio Romano also came out saying that sources close to Atletico Palmeiras predict that Vitor Roque will arrive at Barcelona in January. So all roads right now are leading to Vitor Roque joining Barcelona in January, and I cannot express how pivotal it is to bring Vitor Roque in January. Look, Lewandowski's looking like he's on his last limbs. He's not looking too good. Vitor Roque will provide that extra thing that we just need off the bench, or even starting. I think his leg-up play is brilliant. He can finish in the box as well. This would be all-round beautifully perfect for Barcelona. It's just now down to executing the operation. So we'll wait and see how things develop. Again, we'll probably get bigger news once we hit end of December, when Vitor Roque hopefully would recover from his injury. Then Barcelona, of course, sign him hopefully early January. If we can sign him before the Spanish Super Cup, absolutely happy days, because I believe it is, we have a league game and maybe the Copa del Rey match each before the Spanish Super Cup. So if we can get him in that time, I think they have to be aiming for that first round in the Copa del Rey. That should be, he should be making his debut in that game. If I was a sporting director, that is the game that I am aiming for. So wait and see how things develop. But again, Barcelona's only priority for now anyways in the January transfer window is the registration and signing of Vitor Roque. From one Brazilian striker to another, Barcelona have recently been linked with Gabriel Jesus, coming in from the Madrid media and AS, saying that Barcelona are monitoring Gabriel Jesus, and Real Madrid are also interested in the player. I think Gabriel Jesus, he's kind of like, I think he's an Arsenal level player. I think he's an Atletico Madrid player. I think he's a Dortmund player. I think he can play at those top clubs, your Bayern Munich, your Madrid, your Barcelona, where he already came from Man City. But I think he's a player that wants to play week in, week out. And I don't think he's that clinical striker. I think he's more so of an all-round striker. I don't think he's the one that goes in the box, scores the goals like a Haaland, like a Lewandowski, like I don't know, like a Vlahovic, someone who just smells the goal in the box, killer like a Harry Kane. I don't think Jesus is like that. I think he's more so of a creative forward, someone who likes to drop back and create, gets assists, gets goals. I think Jesus' best season, I think, is under 15 goals in the Premier League, if I'm not mistaken, maybe under 20, and that's not the numbers that we're looking for. And again, we already have Vitor Roque. We need someone who's going to come in that will be better than him, and I also think that right now Gabriel Jesus is at maybe the level from the Barcelona point of view of Vitor Roque. So we'll wait and see. I don't think it's much into it. In fact, if we have to pay for him as well, just makes it even worse. I think if he's a free agent, you can definitely have a conversation. But for now, Barcelona keeping their eyes on him. We'll wait and see if anything develops in the next few months, maybe even years. Now, on the topic of forwards in the final third, Barcelona have been linked with two absolutely world-class players in that area, and it is the Man City duo in Julian Alvarez and Bernardo Silva. Now, on Alvarez, over the past few weeks, we've been talking about rumors about Alvarez possibly having a release clause in his contract. This is coming in from Oyo Dominci from TV3. He doesn't really talk too much, but again, top source. He's come out saying this: there is no penalty clause in Julian Araujo's contract, so there's no release clause whatsoever. If he were to leave Man City in the upcoming transfer window in December, he wouldn't go for anything less than 90 million euros. It is impossible for Barcelona to sign him this summer. Well, that pretty much shuts the door there, but he does say that there is another player from Man City who Barcelona are interested in. He did confirm later on it is Bernardo Silva. Now, yesterday after the Manchester derby, Pep Guardiola was speaking at a press conference saying, again, Bernardo Silva, one of the best players in the world. I begged him to stay last summer. He almost left last summer as well. And again, we do know 100% that Bernardo Silva does have, I think it's a 50, maybe 50 or 60, somewhere around there, million euro release clause. I think the time to get Bernardo Silva, the worst case scenario was last summer. I think now he's at an age where you're going to spend that much money on him, probably get 3 years out of him. He will be essentially a Lewandowski signing, but a bit more expensive. I don't think we really need that right now. I think we need to invest into those mid to youngsters. So I think, 27, 26, and then younger. I think the time for Bernardo Silva has already passed, but hey, he's still a world-class player, and Barcelona like their world-class players. So I would definitely say keep your eyes on Bernardo Silva this summer. We'll wait and see what the transfer target is for Barcelona. I think we need to pivot. If we spend 50 million on Bernardo Silva, have a pivot, I think the entire sporting sector should be sacked. I'm not even hesitating or joking about that. But we'll wait and see in the future on Bernardo Silva. But looks like Julian Alvarez will be an unrealistic target. Maybe down the line, few years, possibly. But this summer, definitely not. But the two players who Barcelona are targeting right now to sign again in the upcoming summer transfer window is, of course, the two Joaos, Joao Cancelo and Joao Felix. Now, Fabrizio Romano was doing his Here We Go podcast where we talked about Vitor Roque, talked about Roberto possibly leaving in the summer, but he also mainly talked about the two Joaos. He came out saying that both Joao Cancelo and Joao Felix are prepared to push and stay at Barcelona beyond the season. Barcelona signed Cancelo and Felix on a loan with a no-buy option included, so the club would have to negotiate if they want to keep them. The idea is to negotiate with the clubs. What is crucial here is the players' feelings. They can push to stay at the club. Anything can happen. Both Felix and Cancelo are very happy at Barcelona, and the club is also very happy with them. They're performing at an excellent level. It's too early to talk about the negotiations right now. The feeling is super positive. The feeling is that Barcelona want to keep both and the club beyond this season. I think Cancelo is set in stone. Look, Cancelo has been quite ropey the past few games. I'm not gonna lie. This is the problem with these loan players. It just depends. You have to give them you have to wait until the final season, end of the season. You cannot make a decision now. I was telling you guys 2 or 3 weeks ago that Cancelo 30 million is a steal. I still think that, but he has been a bit ropey the past few weeks. Felix again, we're looking at another loan. I don't want to make sure I choose my words here carefully because, of course, I was wrong about Felix. He's done very well. I didn't think he would do this well. I think with Felix, it depends on the price. But I think, again, the best case scenario is to loan him again next summer. So I don't see an issue with Felix, but I do think Barcelona have to buy Cancelo. I don't think Man City will let him go out on loan again. 25-30 million euros for Cancelo. I think it's still a steal. Plays a right back, left back, world class. But again, comes down to what the budget is, how much Barcelona wanted to spend, and also how they end up their seasons. Again, we are 14 games into a 50-game season. We played 11 in La Liga, 3 in the Champions League. So yeah, 14 games. We're probably going to play, I think, 50, maybe high 40s, low 50s. So we're still ways to go, and we'll have to wait and see how things develop. If they both get injured tomorrow, it definitely changes the situation. So we'll wait and see how things develop. I am very, very confident that both of them will be ending up staying at Barcelona beyond this season. It's just about how permanent, loan, whatever the case may be. But I'm very, very confident that next season, both Joaos will be part of the Blaugrana squad. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few days. First, again, I want to quickly remind you guys on the situation of Jong, Clair, Todibo. As we all know, we sold him, I believe, 2 seasons ago to Nice, and Barcelona did reserve a right of a future percent of sale. And again, a lot of clubs looking at Todibo as an option in January. And also in the summer, Manchester United are preparing to sign Joao Todibo from Nice in January. In the event of a sale, Barcelona would get 20% of the fee. In this case, Todibo could act as a Barcelona winter leaver. And this is very important, especially for the registration of registration of Vitor Roque. If we get some of these, if you look at Todibo, look at Juan Miranda, that's, you can get 20-25 million from that. If Todibo goes for around 50-60, you get 20% of that. That's maybe 10, a few million from Miranda. That could be very, very important for Barcelona to register Vitor Roque as that income coming in. And again, we're still waiting on the economic lever with liberal football finance as well. So keep your eyes on these type of situations. I think Todibo could very much be sold in the January transfer window. And if he is sold, we do get 20% of that transfer fee. Now, a defender who does have a future at Barcelona is, of course, Julian Araujo, as Barcelona currently are considering him as an option next season for the right back position. Sport came out saying that Boyan will be responsible for closely monitoring players on loan or those of whom Barcelona have a repurchase option on, so like Chad Riyad and Status Pedrola. He was at the Brighton game midweek, I believe, Boyan, and of course, Julian Araujo with Las Palmas, and of course Girona as well, Eric Garcia and Pablo Torre. In the next few days, Boyan will travel to Las Palmas to observe the progress of Julian Araujo. He will also meet with the Mexican right back and the coach Garcia Pimienta, whom he knows very well. Although it's still early, but Barcelona is playing for next year and thinks of Julian Araujo as an option at right back, in the right back position, where an economic effort will have to be made to retain and keep Joao Cancelo. For me, this is an absolutely brilliant idea if he continues, of course, Julian Araujo to play well. Have Araujo and Cancelo there. Once Roberto leaves, of course, you want to invest money elsewhere. We're going to invest money, obviously, in Cancelo, but I don't think we should invest money in a alternative option for Cancelo. I think you bet in-house. You already got Araujo, got that La Liga experience. You can definitely come in for a game here and there. He's done very, very well for Las Palmas so far, putting a great game at the Bernabeu, despite only, I think, think they only lost 1-0 or something like that. So definitely back this for sure. And again, that doesn't leave you in other areas to focus on priorities. You do need to back up left back, look in the midfield for pivots, forwards, center backs, whatever the case may be. I think this would be a great idea from the board, but wait and see how things develop for Julian Araujo's loan move, and wait and see what Boyan thinks of his progress so far. But for now, Barcelona keep a close eye on Araujo and do see him as a part of the squad for next season. Now, in regards to some of the current fullbacks at Barcelona, of course, one of them is Marcos Alonso, who is set to leave the club this summer when his contract does expire. Thank God for that. But according to Sport, Marcos Alonso is being a mentor for a lot of young players in the team, similar to what Jordi Alba was doing last season at the club. The technical staff are very happy with Alonso's attitude. Alonso was the first to reach Marguello to celebrate when he scored his historic moment for Barcelona. That last sentence is a bit weird. I mean, Alonso was balling on the left-hand side, and he came and celebrated on the left-hand side. Not like he rushed there to celebrate for him because he's their best mates or whatever. Last line's a bit kind of dead in my opinion, but apparently Alonso's a big head in the dressing room. We already had some reports of this over recent weeks as well. And I think it's very important. This is why Barcelona might want to go for some veterans this summer like Bernardo Silva, because when you lose one, you want to bring one in because you don't want to have too many youngsters. But of course, Araujo are going to be veterans soon. Your likes of Koundés, Pedri's. I'm even going to say Gabi as well. The man's fucking 18, 19. He's going to be one of the veterans very, very soon at Barcelona. But again, keep your eyes on Alonso, how he progresses this season, how his leadership role continues. I pray to God the club don't renew his deal. I don't think they will. They might, just in case they don't find another left back to bring in. That's the only way I see them keeping Alonso, but they've got to reduce the salary. If Alonso wants to, if the club renew Alonso and he's earning peanuts like Roberto, Barca B salaries, I wouldn't be too upset unless they have no option. If there's options out there, like if they lose out on Juan Miranda because he's asking for a lot of money, understandable. But there's other options out there, I'd be definitely looking at it. But wait and see with Alonso. I think 90% he's out the door this summer. So wait and see how things develop. But again, Alonso's a big head in the dressing room, one of the leaders, and again, he's helping a lot with the youngsters in the squad. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Just one update, and it is on the contract renewal of Frenkie de Jong, where again, Romano in his Here We Go podcast came out saying that in 2024, there will be talks between Frenkie de Jong and Deco to be able to renew the player's deal. The player is super happy in Barcelona and at the club. Negotiations will take place over the next few months. I'm a bit worried about this one. I think they should be starting talks now, and at least the initial contacts. I'm not saying that he should renew his contract by the end of this year. That's not the case. I want them to at least negotiate some things, or at least sit down and have one meeting by the end of this year. I think going into next year, when the season's going to get tough, you're having to do it's going to be important. You don't want to be talking about the player's future then. I think now's a good time. He's going to have his baby soon, again, the Christmas break coming in. I think now is a good time to do it. I think the best time to do it was when he was injured and he wasn't doing anything. But the club have to be very, very cautious with this. Frenkie de Jong is an integral player to this team. I think, again, him being the fourth captain, he'll be the third captain next season. It's very, very important as well. I am confident that Frenkie de Jong will renew his deal. But again, it's something that we have to be very cautious about because he is an integral part to this sporting project. So wait and see what happens with the renewal of Frenkie de Jong. And no contacts have started, no talks yet. Deco has sent a message to his agent, introducing himself, and that's all we've heard since. So hopefully they can start the talks very soon, but most likely it will be next year in 2024. Now, on the topic of Frenkie de Jong, let's now discuss some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. Of course, now we only have 3 injured players. That is Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, and Roberto. This might sound like a really bad thing to say, but I'm going to say it. No one cares about Roberto. He's still injured. He'll be out until probably mid to end of November, but we do have big boost ahead of the match this weekend against Sociedad. Absolutely crucial match, and it is away at the Anoeta. Fernando Polo from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Frenkie de Jong and Pedri are expected to be back in the next match against Sociedad. Only Roberto now is injured, so they will be in the squad list. Whether they'll start or not remains to be seen. I will say this. I'm very confident Frenkie de Jong will be fit and will be fine. Pedri needs to be put on some sort of schedule. Play him every other game. It doesn't matter if we have Almeida, Alaves, El Clasico, Atletico. He should be playing every other game. I think Pedri's at a point now where when he comes back from this injury, next month or so, play him every other game. And then he can start playing week in, week out. I think if we just chuck Pedri back in, it's going to be... If Pedri comes on, I can just imagine it now. We're probably going to wear the teal kit. No, what kit will we wear? Maybe the Blaugrana kit? We'll probably play the home kit because the white kit's too similar to Sociedad. Same with the teal kit. We'll probably play it in the home kit. I can just see Pedri coming in. Playing well first 5-10 minutes, and he just pulls his hamstring and just falls to the ground. I can see it now. And if Pedri gets injured from now until the end of this year, I think a lot of the fan base is going to turn on him. In the sense that if a good offer comes in, let him go. Don't really force to renew his deal. Focus on Araujo. Focus on Gavi, the players that are there week in, week out. But Pedri, I dare to say it, I think his Barcelona career is on the line quite a bit. I think, again, he has a quality to play. I think if he's fit, undisputed starter, 100%. But this guy cannot stay fit to save his life. So we'll wait and see with Pedri. With Frenkie de Jong, I'm confident. I think, honestly, Frenkie de Jong has a good chance of starting. Again, they were both almost in the squad list for the Clasico, which means probably by Wednesday when the team returns to training. They do have the next 2 days off, today and tomorrow. When they return back to training, they should be fully fit, 100% ready to go. They can probably play an hour, I would expect, but hopefully the club do take maximum precaution, and we'll wait and see how the decision is made this weekend against Sociedad. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few days. We have a little bit of news I think is important to touch upon, so I will run through it quickly. Firstly, the dates for the Super Cup have been confirmed. Atletico versus Real Madrid will be on the Wednesday, I think January the 10th, and Barcelona will be on the Thursday, January the 11th, against Osasuna. We are already going to be the home team for our leg as well, and we're going to know who will be in the final going into that game. We do have the easier of the opponent, but again, for the about 10th Super Cup in the row, or what? How many Super Cups did we have? We had 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22, 22, 23, and now this is 23. This is the 5th edition of the Super Cup in Saudi Arabia, and again, it's set up for now Clasico final, so we'll wait and see how that develops. Maybe Atletico Madrid can cause an upset. We'll wait and see on that, but the date and the final, of course, will be on the 14th of January. That has been confirmed. We are facing Osasuna. That should be minimum final, in my opinion. Speaking on playing football, we do have some kit leaks yet again. The new third kit for next season has already been leaked, and we do have some designs for you on the screen right now. It will be kind of a lime green color, so kind of similar to this season's third kit, but just a bit brighter. So, I mean, it looks alright. The third kit's always going to be, a 6 or a 7 out of 10. The home kit and the away kit is looking disgusting for next season. I haven't been excited for kits since the 2020-2021 season, the first season under Koeman. Those kits were disgusting. That's also my first full season on YouTube as well, so it had another extra sentimental value to me. But this is the kit. I think it looks alright, and you know what? We move on. Next up, we do have some news in regards to financial fair play. There are reports coming in saying that La Liga will make financial control of clubs more flexible soon. Losses can be spread over years, and the depreciation of some infrastructures will no longer be taken into account in the workforce cost limit. We heard earlier reports a few weeks ago that La Liga are considering, easing up some of the FFP rule. About damn time, because this league is lacking so far behind the likes of Serie A, Bundesliga, even the Premier League, with these dumb rules that no one has to follow but us. And La Liga is also making some other improvements in the fact that they will have offside technology next season. Bloody hell, Xavi Hernandez is getting into his pocket and paying. About damn time. Again, this will be great. We don't have to wait for a Lions draw. We'll get the decision absolutely immediately. There's no if, buts, or maybe. It's absolute. But there is still no goal line technology. I can't believe we're in 2024 and the second best league on paper, you could argue first, you could argue third, doesn't have doesn't have goal line technology. That was introduced, I think, in 2012, 2013. I think it happened after Frank Lampard's goal in the World Cup that was disallowed. So we've gone at least 8 to 10 years of having goal line technology, and yet La Liga does not have it. Beyond me. I cannot believe that. But outside technology is coming in, so that's going to be nice. Now, one thing that Xavi Hernandez does not like is, of course, the Super League. And we do have some big news in regards to the Super League. Roqur are reporting that the Court of Justice of the European Union plans to make public the final judgment of the Super League on December 21st. On my birthday, we're going to get some massive Super League news at 8:30 in the morning. This will be the decision. Again, we have more reports. The ruling will be whether UEFA and FIFA abused their position by blocking the Super League and threatening the founding clubs with sanctions. So if it is in the favor of the Super League, the probably Super League will continue. Again, right now on paper, only Barcelona and Real Madrid are in it, but the other teams apparently are still contract binded. I don't know, but if they are found guilty, then UEFA and FIFA can punish Barcelona and Real Madrid for trying to bring up the Super League and imposing the Super League whether those, being left out of the Champions League and all this stuff, whether that happens remains to be seen. I think it's too big. They'll lose so much money for not having Barcelona and Real Madrid in the Champions League. They might just say, okay, just cancel it now and we'll let you go. So keep our eyes on that. That will be some big news for sure, and we'll wait and see. On my birthday, we're going to have some drama. You just love to see it. Now, the final piece of news that I want to discuss is the presidential dinner. Last week, Barcelona released an official statement saying that Barcelona last night, the last 5 presidents of the clubs had dinner together. Of course, that includes Sandro Rosé, Enrique Reina, Juan Gaspar, Barto Conte, and Joan Laporta. Now, the dinner, apparently, according to reports, was paid by Joan Gaspar, so shout out to him. But again, this dinner was to bring the last 5 presidents back together, discuss the Negreira case, discuss how to defend the club's color. Honestly, Laporta, fair play to him. I understand why he's done this. I don't really criticize him too much, but the fact that he's speaking to the likes of Bartomeu and Rosell, who are the reason why we're probably, I would say, 85% of the reason why we're in the slump financially and economically, pisses me off. I saw that there's Mundo Deportivo leaked some pictures of the meeting. I just hate seeing this. I'm a very loving person. I've said this so many times on my channel. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm a very loving person. I don't hate anyone. I don't like, Ramos when he's at Real Madrid, Pepe when he's at Real Madrid, Kameni when he was at Malaga, Vinicius now Real Madrid. I don't like them, but I don't hate them. Just because they play for Real Madrid, they provoke Barcelona as part of the game. Once they retire and stuff, I won't bother. There is only one man that I passionately hate in this world, and that is Bartomeu. And the fact that he's still linked with our club, being rumored in the press. Oh, I saw him. He came out and talked to Sport. Oh, I want to defend the club's honor. Fuck off, you twat. I'm sick to death of him. But anyways, presidential dinner. Again, we'll also see. Again, I'm very, very confident about this Negreira case. I think it's all going to die down soon. Not die down soon, but I think Laporta will handle it. I think, again, Laporta should be having a statue alongside Leo Messi once we have the new Spotify Camp the Aspire Barcelona project being completed. But presidential dinner did take place. I think it was the idea of Joan Gaspar. So, good idea from him, and we'll wait and see how things develop in regards to the presidential meeting, in regards to the Negreira case, and of course, defending the club's colors. And the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is to discuss some of the news post El Clasico. I am now a bit calmed down after the Clasico. I'm still disappointed, but Messi winning the Ballon d'Or later on today will definitely cheer me up. But inside the locker room as well, we do have some news coming out. Now, firstly, Tony Juan Martínez come out saying that there is a certain irritation in Barcelona's dressing room over what happened in El Clasico. In the locker room, there is satisfaction with how the team started the game. However, experienced players admit that the team should have shown greater maturity and intelligence in the last half an hour of the game. Javi Miguel from AES came out saying the feeling of the coaching staff and the players is frustration. Many things were done well, but 2 specific errors condemned the team. On Wednesday, there will be a group therapy with the goal of forgetting the Clasico to fully focus on the Sociedad game. Again, Xavi has given the team 2 days off, and they will be back on Wednesday. They train Thursday and Friday, Wednesday, and then game, of course, on Saturday. Now, there has been this video of that's leaked on Ilkay Gundogan. I did post it on my TikTok, so you want to go see it, check out my TikTok. Link is down below. It's just BarcaBoy103 on TikTok. And Gundogan came out after the game saying that, it's a disappointing result, but I don't feel that in the dressing room. When everyone came in the dressing room, they just kind of, went out with life. I was there pissed off, but no one else looked angry. I want to see that frustration. I want to see people who care. And that kind of sparked a lot of debate online about, Gundogan, why is he saying this in the public? Everyone, of course, back Gundogan. Yes, they want to know frustration. I mean, I'm there pissed off, making videos and stuff like that. And the players are not pissed off in the locker room. That even pisses me off even more. Now, we know that there's players that care. Gavi cares. Man was crying after the game. We know that the likes of Araujo care. But what about these other players? Your Rafinhas, your Lewandowskis, Inigo, Christensen, Ter Stegen, Roberto. I would suspect that your academy players, Lamine Yamal, Balde, Fermin. I think Felix would care. I think Varane would care. But what about these other players where you don't quite know? Yes or no. Anyways, when these quotes came out from Gundogan, Fernando from Mundo Deportivo said the coaching staff see Gundogan's word with good eyes. His message after losing El Clasico is seen as positive and healthy for the team, and the sporting staff understand his words of that of a competitive and winning player. So Gundogan just saying that the mentality in the squad needs to improve a bit, and everyone agrees with him, not only the fans, but also the coaching staff and the manager as well. And this is why you sign a player like Gundogan. This is why I think Barcelona might sign Bernardo Silva in the future, because you need those players, the veteran players, that bring this mentality. Now, the player that's been taking the most flank at Barcelona recently has been Ter Stegen. I've been going at him as well on Twitter. I'm not going to hide behind it. the thing is with Ter Stegen is that sometimes he pulls off some worldly saves, but sometimes you think, what the F are you doing, lad? Like, you should be saving that. And the problem is now there's no real goalkeeper out there that you can think that can come and replace Ter Stegen. Yes, you might say Mike Mignon, you might say, I don't know, like a Courtois could come in, an Alisson, maybe an Ederson, but these are not like clear and definitive options that also are available. I would rather sign a top pivot than a top goalkeeper. I think Ter Stegen has done well last season. I don't know if you can say that's because of the defense. I remember seeing Ter Stegen last season. He's pulling off absolutely world-class saves. In La Liga in Europe was different, of course, and that's the issue. With Ter Stegen in those La Liga games definitely comes clutch, but when we're in the big moment, whether it's against Real Madrid, Atletico, or anything in Europe, is where he absolutely crumbles beyond belief. And he did this video with ESPN about doing this, making the best goalkeeper, and he had mentalities that he picked himself. I'm like, fucking hell, Ter Stegen, you cannot be serious. But with him renewing his deal, of course, nothing's gonna happen, and I don't think until 2025 we'll make a goalkeeping change. I think Ter Stegen is here to stay until at least the summer of 2025, but you never know. But again, the feelings are going to be, I think, a bit down, but once we get started back in training and focus on Sociedad, we have Alaves and Shakhtar, 3 games left until the next international break. All 3 must wins. I think the club will get the job done. Again, we lost the first Clasico last season. We lost this in a way that's very annoying, and that's why there's a lot of frustration, because you're losing to a strike that should have been saved by Ter Stegen, and a tap-in that Modric absolutely perfectly bounced over Inigo. If Inigo's a centimeter taller, he gets a head on that. It's all fine margins, but, we move. So we'll wait and see how things develop in terms of the team's feelings, the team's confidence, but that Sociedad game is going to be huge. Not only are we now 4th in La Liga, but, we're 4 points behind Girona, Atletico, and Real Madrid. Now, we do play Atletico and Girona in about the next month, which is going to be absolutely crucial. So hopefully we can bounce back from this disappointing loss, which of course is, again, keeping in mind, is our first loss of the season. So we'll see how the team feels, but again, huge match this weekend against Sociedad. Nothing but the win. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to know first, of course, is your thoughts on the arrival of Vitor Roque in January. You think it will happen or not? Your thoughts on Barcelona being linked with Bernardo Silva and Julian Alvarez? You think we'll sign both Joaos next summer? You think both Joaos will continue and be Blaugrana players going into next season? And your thoughts on the European Super League? Do you think the Super League will win the core decision or not? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.
Yeah.